bring you into their world. It's not just chickens and the Angus herd. So take off your boots, relax, and go beyond the ranch.
Hi guys, and welcome to another edition of Beyond the Ranch, Ranch Talk, Weekly Roundup, whatever you want to call it. I'm Mike.
I'm Erin.
And this is all a part of our Wyoming Life, which is really becoming invasive into other people's lives. I feel like, you know, like I'm almost like force feeding you guys. I know I'm not. I think there probably are some people that actually feel like I am, but I get a lot of emails where people are like, I appreciate the 30 and 30 or whatever, or 30 and 30 or dirty 30 or the 30 or whatever you want to call it. But
I think though, I mean, the analytics don't lie on our end, and like every day the views are going up. Yeah,
true. And I have been, I don't know if anybody else has noticed this, but I've been actually pushing the length of the videos out as well. They're so long. Like yesterday after, you know, we came up and we filmed up here for the part, you know, at the end where we were talking, and I, you know, I just kind of, it ended up being a 30-minute long video, you know,
would never
and I had to get it down to 30 because it was actually longer than that. And I went through and just took out, like, you know, well, we don't need this, we don't need that. And I got it down to 30 minutes. Somebody will correct me on this, but it's 30 minutes and like 48 seconds or something like that. And I wanted to get it under 30.
You didn't
but
do it,
yeah, it's crazy. Like I didn't ever think I could make a video. Because for years, people said, I want you to make longer videos. I want you, you know, 10-minute videos, that's just not enough. You need to spend more time on this and make longer videos. And I think I've told Erin, I said, I can't make a video longer than that because I don't have anything else to say. Apparently, I do. Thank you for coming and hanging out with us once again. Thank you to our moderators, Zach Hewitt, Matt Fensel. William Dunn is here hanging out with us. Bill the Tractor Man along with Lori Hewitt. William, who is playing
Lori Hewitt.
Zach Hewitt. Lori Habel. Last names confuse me too. And it's the same letter, so, and I was looking at Zach's name. Anyway, William Dunn playing bartender tonight. He actually, he went to grab a beer and I said, well, bring me back something. And, this here fancy mojito looking thing.
I mean, I made that for you.
Did. I'm just playing here. But yeah, what is this thing? What is it called?
It's a Moscow Mule.
Moscow Mule, which if it's a Moscow Mule, it's made with vodka, and if it's there's other mules, right?
Yeah. There's a million of them.
See, 30 minutes and 46 seconds. See, I was wrong. I was off by 2 seconds. What was the other kind of mule?
I don't know.
There's other mules. Like if you put like tequila in it, it's like a Chihuahua mule or something like that. I don't know. There's different types of mules.
Yeah, there's a bunch of. I mean, you can make them with all kinds of different alcohol and stuff in them.
So now when 38 people ask what we're drinking, you guys can all answer all in one fell swoop, and you can say they're both drinking Moscow Mules.
And mine has a sippy cup straw.
A sippy cup. You got to have a sippy cup. The main reason we're drinking this tonight is because I ran out of Seagram 7, so that's always a problem. And
a camera just went off. Hold on.
A camera just went off?
Yeah.
Who's here? Somebody's here at the house. That's always nice.
I bet they're going to the farm store. Farm store's not open. I'm sorry.
Yeah. If you happen to be watching while you're driving and going to the farm store to knock on the door.
Oh no, where'd they go?
Oh no. They're downstairs banging on our door. All right. So
we're watching you.
Even though the liquor stores are still considered essential, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, it's an essential business.
Essential services. We have not made it to town here lately.
They're leaving.
Okay, bye-bye. We haven't made it to town in a while, and we have been very religiously practicing social distancing, really, until today, because that all went to hell today, because we had a film crew show up and filming. You can't, and I kept on catching myself, and I have to think about it in my head, but I'm like, I'm pretty sure this dude's standing closer than 6 feet. Like if I can hit you, you're too close.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, we tried to stay away from them, and they tried to stay away from us. But I mean,
It's impossible.
Yeah, I mean, you were like assisting with the production.
Yeah, I had to help them a little bit, which was fun. They actually said it's really nice to actually come and film somebody who knows what they're doing technically. So they were like, how do we make this work? And I was like, well, the lighting's coming in this, do this and do that. So that was fun. But anyway, we had some folks here. We're going to give you a little sneak preview of tomorrow's vlog of them being here and filming with us for a public service announcement about COVID-19, and something that actually really did surprise us, with somebody coming to us and saying, hey, would you like to make a commercial? Because people might listen to you for some weird reason.
Who's going to listen to us?
People are listening to us right now.
I will say, though, like, the kids are all in it. I was so proud of Grace.
Oh, yeah, Grace had a line.
She had a line, and she talked loud. And
I think I have that actually in the little promo
so proud
deal.
of shy little Grace. So
Yeah, she
I'm
did
excited for her to see that. It's such a weird thing, like, to be doing PSAs for the governor. Like,
it's weird because,
not
and
normal.
I think Matt pointed it out to me when I told him about this. Like, our kids are going to look back at this time in our lives, which is going to be a big thing. You talk about, like, and we've talked about this, but like, the Challenger explosion, JFK, 9/11, the COVID thing is going to be right up there. I mean, it's going to be something that's set in people's mind.
Yeah.
And our kids will be able to look back and they'll be like, oh my, I was in a PSA telling people to not touch each other,
Grace said, wash your hands.
Yeah, exactly. I've got it coming up. I'll show you guys. I don't have the whole PSA, obviously, but I do have what I was able to sneakily. I wasn't sneaking. They didn't care. They were just like, film whatever you want.
I mean, it'll be, in my childhood, like, I remember the Challenger. I remember, like, the first time I used the internet.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do.
You remember what was the first thing you looked at? No, I want to know now.
No, it was something in, like, science class.
Oh.
So it was like a school thing. But I remember that. And then I was in college with 9/11. So, I mean, COVID will obviously be a big part of our kids, their childhood and stuff. So
I feel so sophisticated.
Fancy. I know, right?
Right?
I love the copper mugs.
They are good.
They are nice.
All right, so if you have any questions, feel free to throw them up. We're going to be answering questions as we move through here.
Jacob doesn't need a face mask.
We can't waste a face mask. I didn't even have a face mask to do the high tunnel. We're going to talk about some of the videos. The interesting part is we've done a lot of videos since our last live stream, so we're going to talk about some of those. If you have any questions about any of the vlogs, here tonight is the time to get them answered. And we're going to talk about what we have coming up and how COVID-19 is affecting us as well, and what we have coming up here in the next couple of weeks. We're on vlog number 16.
We don't even have bandanas, Mark.
Yeah, I'd have to go to town to buy a bandana.
And we could use a dish towel.
I saw a thing online where a guy took and I don't know if this is like rag or anything like that, but this guy took a T-shirt, folded it in half, put paper towels in between the two layers, and then kind of made a bandana out of that with the paper towels, and then the T-shirt, and I would probably pass out just from that, because I'd be like trying to suck air through it and be like, can't breathe. But who knows? But so we'll definitely maybe we should do an episode on homemade masks, because didn't they say now that if you go outside you should be wearing a mask?
Well, Trump said it's voluntary.
Well, everything's
but
voluntary.
We don't have
they can't
any
make you wear a mask, but
we don't have any masks, and I'm not a sewer.
No, your mom is. Your mom can sew. She should be knocking out masks like crazy. What else she got to do besides watch the news?
Our kids are literally with her right now.
And they're probably watching the news. Anyway.
Do you want to talk about calves?
Oh,
my
we
gosh,
can. It'll just annoy the hell out of me. What's that?
You just made a giant mess.
These are hard to. These are like. I need a sippy straw. I need a sippy cup. Do they make a copper sippy cup? That would be cool.
No calves yet.
No calves.
I mean, you guys will know as soon as.
Yeah, as soon as we have a calf, you guys will know.
I appreciate all the messages on Instagram and Facebook, but I'm not answering. You're just going to have to watch the videos.
That's the interesting thing. Like, we still get tons of emails and tons of questions and everything else, and we're still putting out a video a day. Like, I'm literally one day behind you, and you can't. People just cannot wait.
I'm sorry, but y'all just gonna have to wait until the video comes out to see the first calf.
Well, I'm sure that when the first calf is born, Erin will put it on Facebook right away, probably.
Yeah, I'll probably post it to Instagram or Facebook.
Yeah,
so if there's nothing posted and it's not in a video, There's no calves
There's
yet.
no calves yet. I did get accused of filming out of order last video, which I thought was kind of funny. Somebody, it was the one where I put the twills on the gator, and somebody said, I saw that, you driving around with the twills on there, and I was like, no, I wasn't, because it was annoying the crap out of me that I had the twills and I didn't have time to put them on, and then finally when I did, I get yelled at for apparently.
They make copper straws, just open a wall.
Oh, there you go. That's a good idea. Okay. William Fitzer asked, what happened with last week's show? That's a damn good question.
Well, things just went to...
It went to hell. What I think is happening, and I talked to some folks that have somewhat of an inside track at YouTube, is that with so many people being at home, and you may have noticed this too, like internet, Netflix is going slower, that kind of thing.
I tried to log into one of the apps for Grace for school for tomorrow.
Couldn't do it.
Just a spinning wheel.
Yeah, so with so many people at home, so much bandwidth being used, that's an issue. YouTube actually got rid of you can't watch a video in 4K anymore on YouTube because they just cannot support the bandwidth to do it, so they knocked all the videos down to 1080p. And another issue I think is with live streaming, which is a separate portion of YouTube. Like think of it, here's YouTube, and then over here is an office where they handle live streaming. That's actually a different deal, and I think that a lot of people are using the live streaming on YouTube to keep in touch with each other. A way to talk to each other, and smaller people that don't have channels are still using it to just like Zoom or Skype or anything like that.
I know we're using a whole bunch of new ads for distant learning.
Yeah. It's interesting. I didn't even know half of them existed. Like the
know.
Marco Polo app, I didn't know what that was. That's kind of cool, though. It's like, what is Marco Polo? Explain it.
You send videos back and forth, and so you can do like group chats and stuff, and you just send videos back and forth. So we're actually using it for piano.
So it's like text messaging, but with a video.
Yeah, and so you just talk to your friends. We're doing piano, and then Lincoln's preschool is using Marco Polo just to send videos back and forth to each other. But yeah, Mackenzie and Grace are in piano, and they have to learn so many songs in different keys, and Mackenzie says whatever she's going to play and sing and what key, and then I record her fingers, and her teacher says yay or nay.
Yeah.
So.
There's all kinds of different. We use Zoom a lot for business stuff and video conferencing and stuff like that, which I really didn't think I'd ever have to do again in my life. I thought a video conferencing call with a company I would never have to deal with that again. Now,
once we left, yeah.
Yeah. Since we left, radio and stuff. Now all of a sudden it's like something I have to do with different companies.
Yeah,
and
I
had
a board meeting last week. Yeah, Zoom's been hacked. We were gonna. Lincoln has he does speech with our local children's center, and Miss Susie contacted us this week to see if we wanted like homework and stuff, and I was like, no, I don't really honestly have time. And I don't think he'll do it anyhow because he's a turd. But I was like, if we can do video stuff, like I'm sure Lincoln would do that because he loves Miss Susie and he would chat with her all day. And she said, oh, we can't use Zoom because they're a county organization and because it's been hijacked by people with inappropriateness happening. So Zoom's supposed to be working on their security. There's other apps available, but like I had a board meeting this week via Zoom, and it worked out. I mean, it's a little difficult, but.
Well, and where was it? Kyle just mentioned that the chat on the pasture cam isn't working. You can go to our website and look at the pasture cam, which is actually just this. You can look at the pasture cam, but below that there's actually a chat room where you can talk with other people that are in there. I actually had to limit that based on bandwidth down to 5 people in that chat room at a time because it was causing such a slowdown of everything that's connected to it.
You were complaining last night about the internet being slow.
Yeah, and it's bad. If I have to edit and upload a video every night, and it wasn't last night, but I think it was the night before when I didn't get to bed till like 3:30.
Yeah, you were
because
late.
Nothing wanted to work. Like
you said you had computer issues.
Yeah,
too.
I had computer issues. I had upload issues. Giant pain in the butt. 3:30, but I slept until like 8 or 9 or some damn thing.
I know. I do that. I look out the window and check the cows.
Yeah, it's been crazy.
You guys can let that comment from Jeff come through. That's fine.
Yeah, I saw that there's hackers that have been doing just crazy stuff, and
it's just so rude because it's like we all have to do things differently right now. Like, and Zoom should have better security. Like they said, they've worked more on like front end features than like than security, and so they're supposed to be working on their security and stuff right now. That needs to happen, but at the same time, like, can we all just, like, we're all supposed to be in this together. You don't need to put your dick in Zoom, okay? Like, it just doesn't need to happen.
All right. Well, there went our PG rating.
Can you imagine, like, and I understand why, like, Lincoln's teacher cannot use it for speech therapy. Like, can you? I mean.
Yeah. No, I don't want to know.
I don't need that in a phone call.
We don't
with
need
our
it really
speech
anywhere.
therapist. Yeah, I don't need to see it at all. But come on, like.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's the I think too. Like, I have seen.
Some people just want to watch the world burn. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, some of the stuff that I've seen here over the last, even within our own channel, and you guys can, you guys can tell me if I'm wrong if you want to. But even in our own comments, like, I'm seeing a lot more. Like, people are sitting at home bored and apparently just looking for things to go and troll. Yeah. And I'm seeing a lot of stuff in our own comments that are just kind of like, where are these people coming from, and why would you want to hack Zoom? Why would you want to mess up a preschooler's, speech therapy?
Right? Yeah, like, can we just please, like, let our children, like, have distant learning? Can we please be able to conduct business as necessary so that the economy doesn't completely crash?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
I think there's a lot of that was kind of my point with yesterday's video with doing the incinerator and the chicken house, and how we just we saw a problem and we solved that problem.
Yeah.
I think that's what people are going to have to do here through this COVID-19 crisis, is figure out how to fix the problems in a new, creative way.
I know with Edible Prairie Project, we have so many things that, like, I never thought we'd have to deal with, that we're trying to deal with so that we can stay essentially ahead of the COVID situation, and so that we can provide food safely. And I mean, just stuff that, how do you do a weekly veggie basket delivery and keep everybody safe and stuff, and keep Megan safe and keep me safe? And
there's a way around all this. If I can figure out how to drive over a fence and a gator, we can figure out how to deliver food baskets to people without getting everybody sick.
We've got a way to do it and stuff, but it makes everything more difficult. It really does. So.
It sure does. All right, let's take a couple more questions from Farming with Harmon. I like that. Farming with Harmon. How did you start the farm store? Well, there's a video about it. About 8 videos about it.
We bought a building.
Well, we started at farmers market. I mean, would you suggest?
We did 9 years of farmers market. We're on a real accelerated pace here. 9 years of farmers market to build a customer base. Then buy a shed, make a monthly payment for the next 3 years of your life.
We should pay that damn thing off, is what we should do. Paying like 48% interest or some stupid thing.
Spend a lot of money at Menards and make your husband finish the inside of it, and run a nail gun. That's what I did.
You did a really good job running.
Order a bunch of crap off of Amazon to put in the farm store.
Seriously though, I mean, would you suggest, if somebody was going to do a farm store, let's say somebody was in our situation and had a farm where they could do stuff like this, would you suggest somebody do farmers markets now? Or would you say, hey, you know what, just do the farm store? If you could go back, what would you do?
Okay, so I love the farm store way more than I loved farmers market, but I don't know how successful my farm store would have been without my customer base, because the good customers, the loyal customers, they followed us and are still with us. So it's hard to say, because we did farmers market and then farm store. So I do a million times over prefer the farm store. It's way less of an invasion to our life than... At
times, except for when people pull in when we're doing live stream and want to get in the store.
We just watch it.
I need some eggs, damn it.
Yeah, I mean, I much prefer the farm store. Like, last summer was way less stressful, and during a pandemic, I was able to still be open and not be at the mercy of, like, this building's closed, farmers market is canceled. Like, I sell food, so I'm an essential business. Mm-hmm. I mean, gosh, we're so busy that first week of all the COVID panic buying.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I would not have had the opportunity to sell as much as I did had we had just a farmers market based business. So yeah, I would do a farm store. But if you don't have a customer base, you're just going to have to advertise, start a mailing list, maybe do a CSA also. You're just going to have to find other ways.
Follow-up question, did you have to get a permit to have the farm store?
So I looked at, like, our county ordinances. I couldn't really find anything, but I went with I'm going to ask for forgiveness.
Yeah.
I didn't find anything though, and I did talk to our local health inspector, and like it's not her department, but she's like, I think you're fine. There's literally not another farm store in Campbell County.
Yeah, you're just setting a precedence is what you're doing.
I just decided to ask for forgiveness if it's a problem. So no one's shut me down yet.
Well, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Tomorrow we're going to start talking about calving and why we're not calving. So I hope that you're able to join us tomorrow morning for our I think it's vlog number 16 if I remember right. We're halfway there.
Are you going to extend?
See, I'm going to decide if I'm going to if
the people want to know.
Oh, I've gotten so many emails and so many okay, I won't call them passive aggressive, but kind of like that whole I don't know what I'm going to do when the 30 days is up. Like, not putting a guilt trip on me or anything, but we've gotten so used to them, and people have told me they look forward to getting up in the morning and watching it, and then whatever else they do with their life. Hopefully they go back to bed, but that it will be different when it stops, if it stops.
Zach said you're like the next Casey Neistat.
No. I put my sunglasses on, though. I don't have any up here. It was funny you mentioned that, Zach, because when I first met Tim Schmoyer, who's a YouTube consultant and friend of mine, the first thing he did was watch one of our videos and say, take off the sunglasses, you're not Casey Neistat. So, yeah. But I used to wear the sunglasses because it was bright out a lot of times. I mean, I wore sunglasses, and then I just wouldn't take them off. And now, if you notice, I'm much better about when I'm talking to the camera, take your glasses off. People want to see your eyeballs.
So are you going to extend? What if we're still all on, because our shutdown is through the month of April.
So you think I should, as long as we're shut down, I should keep doing?
It's up to them.
It's up to them. What about me? First of all, if anybody's the boss of me, it's you. So if you were going to say you need to do it, then I would say okay. You guys can vote amongst yourselves. Maybe we'll put a poll up on Facebook or something. But honestly, I don't mind it too much. It does kind of suck, like I don't go to bed, until late at night.
I think if nothing else, maybe you're going to have to cut down and not do 7 a week.
Yeah, I could do 5
even
weekdays.
Even like having the weekends off would be nice.
Yeah.
But I think you've gotten really good about, other than when you have like editing problems and stuff, like you've been to bed at like midnight sometimes, which in all honesty, you would be up that late anyhow.
Probably, yeah.
I mean, the other night was like 3:45 or something, and I woke up and I'm like, where are you?
I know, I came downstairs and Erin was walking through the house and I was like, where are you going? And she's like, I'm looking for you.
Yeah, I was like, what are you doing still?
I'm working.
Yeah, you just had computer problems and stuff. So.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, I mean, we did this to help provide content during COVID while everyone's kind of locked in their house. So we'll get to 30 days and on 31 make a decision, maybe? Maybe. Sheila Santiago asked, how much farming knowledge did you have before taking over the farm? For myself, it was a big fat goose egg. I mean,
you knew about, you knew how to garden, at least.
But not like I garden now. I mean, like home gardening and commercial gardening is substantially different.
Yeah.
Like I look back at my first few years of like market farming, I was like, oh man, not good. But I mean, I was learning.
I think I knew what a cow was. I knew that.
We'd never been around. I mean,
I'd never really been around cows. I remember as a kid, I went to a branding one time, but I didn't do anything.
Oh, sure.
I stood in the background and just kind of watched it.
Did you play with the dirt like Lincoln does?
Yeah, and I mean, I was older. I think I might have actually been in high school. And it was just somebody who had a few cows, and they invited like the neighborhood over or something. I don't even really remember. But I knew what a cow was. I might have known what a steer was, maybe. I mean, heifer,
I knew
maybe.
that just
I don't know if I knew the terminology.
I knew that because of Gilbert and stuff.
Well, yeah, you knew that.
Yeah, but
I could tell the difference between a bull and a cow, probably.
We knew nothing. I mean, if you watch our second video called Our Story, it kind of, I mean, nothing. We knew nothing.
Yeah.
The little tiny bit, I mean, knowing what a steer is
doesn't make you a rancher. Yeah, trust me, I read the comments too. George Carey asked, what's new with the Armchair Rancher? With filming this afternoon, I didn't get a chance to check in with him. I don't know if he sent me anything or not, so we're going to bump him back to next week because I don't know what he's up to out there.
God only knows.
Running around with a... He's got to be like, I'm not even sure if he knows what the heck is going on. I literally asked him what he thought of the Corona thing, and he told me that he likes cherry Kool-Aid. He doesn't drink Corona. So, I don't know.
Quinn A's question was, will there be farmers markets this year? That's going to be highly dependent upon where you're at. And some states have declared farmers markets as essential. Other states are shutting down farmers markets because it's a gathering of 10 or more people.
It would be hard to maintain, 10 people are allowed in the farmer's market at a time. How do you do that?
I do think that if they're not going to be held in your state, you need to write your state legislature or your governor and tell them that they should be deemed essential, because it is no different than a grocery store.
True.
And as long as grocery stores can be open and people need food, and our farmers are still going to raise food, so yes, I think farmers markets should still be happening, but that is up to local and state governments.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so a big question that I'm seeing pop up here quite a bit is about Ranch Roundup. Mark, Melissa asked the question. I've received about 8,700 emails and comments about it over the past few weeks. And we came to a decision this week, and it was almost like you have to decide what you're going to do at some point, right? And the other thing, so we were talking about, if we're going to have Ranch Roundup, which we had scheduled at the end of June, if we were going to leave it at the end of June. But what we came down to and what we had to realize was that if we did have to reschedule it, everybody's going to be rescheduling at the same time. The other issue that we have is that it's not only what's happening in Wyoming, it's what's happening in your state. Can you travel from your state? And once states started putting in this 14-day mandatory quarantine after travel, then we became really, really concerned with what we were doing. So rather than to push everybody into this corner and say we're still going to do it, but we're going to give you guys 2 weeks notice or a month's notice or something like that, what we decided to do was actually move the Ranch Roundup. So yes, it is moving. This year it's still going to happen, hopefully, but we are moving it to Labor Day weekend. One of the reasons we decided to do it in June was because we wanted to make sure that people were going to be out of school, that kids would be able to come this year. We decided to move it to Labor Day weekend because then hopefully you got a long weekend, the kids are still going to be able to attend, and we can still make it work. So as of right now, I'm not sure when we're going to put tickets on sale yet, but we are moving it to the 4th, 5th, and 6th of September.
You remembered the dates. Good job. I just pulled it up because I couldn't remember the dates.
So what you were doing? I thought you were answering emails or something. But yeah, so we are moving it to September, Labor Day weekend. And one of the reasons we decided, we were kind of on the fence trying to decide if we were going to move it, if we weren't. We got together with the hotel where we have everything planned, and they still had Labor Day weekend open for us. So we said, okay, you know what? It's probably better to jump on that and get it done, and then make this decision and make it happen. So
I was really pushing that we just wait and stuff.
Erin was holding out till the end, man.
And I started to see some stuff canceling into June, and I had called the hotel on Monday or something, just because we do have the live stream Friday night is at the hotel, and it's what's our availability? We could have gone the second weekend in August, but room rates were $160 a night.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Because of Sturgis. Because of the rally, we get the overflow traffic because we're less than 2 hours. And so I was like, well, we can't do that to our guest. And so basically it was beginning of September, Labor Day weekend, or very, very end of September, which our weather, we could have snow on the ground. So I'm hoping, JB Weld said there's a second wave of the virus. That's potentially going to happen. Hopefully we can squeeze in there between first round ending and second round starting. I do think that a second wave is definitely a possibility. I hope we get a vaccine.
This whole thing. I mean, I talked to a guy who works for YouTube, and he lives in Los Angeles, and I asked him, what are things like in Los Angeles right now? And he lives in downtown Los Angeles in a loft or whatever.
Town.
He said it's like what did he say? Like a dystopian wasteland.
Yeah.
Like nothing happening.
Yeah.
And it's so. I very much want to do Ranch Roundup. Ranch Roundup, if you don't know, is a chance for subscribers to come and hang out on the ranch. We have 3 days of festivities planned, including a live stream that happens in front of a live audience. This year, We're actually doing it in a much larger banquet room. We can have up to 300 people in there for a live stream where you guys get to come up, ask questions, join us on stage, have fun hang out with us before and after, all that kind of, well, after. We decided not before, but after the live stream.
I don't know. We have a schedule.
But
look at all the work we already did. And
I
now
know,
we
right?
can
We're
be
way ahead of the
total
game.
slackers for a long time
So
still.
yeah, and then Saturday, everybody's invited to come out to the ranch. Sunday, you can come out and visit the farm store if you're a VIP ticket holder. Sunday, we have some special things planned for VIPs to be able to go and do some very, very cool things on the ranch that not everybody gets to do. So it's a 3-day event, and I really wanted to see people here. I wanted to see, especially, you know, and I talked to, I'm going to talk about this here in a few minutes, but I talked to John, who owns BCS America, who owns the two-wheel tractor company the other day. And we were talking, I told him that we were postponing it. And he said, you know, they're going to be here, him and his wife. And he said, I imagine people are looking forward to going, especially at the end of this BS, and then just kind of like having that break-free moment. And that could happen here. I think that would be awesome.
And that's why I was so hesitant to cancel, because you wanted to postpone it probably a couple weeks ago, and I was like, absolutely not. Like, I wasn't ready yet. Because I think by then, like, the main decision that I read a report that said, like, the United States will still be experiencing 100 deaths a day up until, like, June 11th or something. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I just don't see a lot of the travel restrictions being lifted by the end of June. But I so desperately wanted to still have it because I wanted it to be, I just wanted to do something normal.
You want something normal.
I wanted normal more than anything. And I want to see all of our friends, and I want to see you guys, and, you know, all of our help
Erin
that
was
comes.
pissed. I can tell you, she was mad.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things where I was like, and I was trying to not really push you towards it, but I know I had brought it up earlier about postponing. And boy, she fought me tooth and nail. And it's not that I didn't. We were looking at it from two different sides. Yeah. You didn't want to give up, and I didn't want to lose it completely.
Yeah.
So,
and I wasn't going to wait too much longer, but it was just, I kind of wanted to drag our feet and see when other stuff started getting canceled in June, and like seeing that prediction for the death rate throughout the country. It was like, oh, that's still a very large number. And then I think that morning after we postponed, I started seeing stuff being canceled into June, and so I was like, yeah, I think we did the right decision, because I agree, like, this gives us an opportunity to still have Ranch Roundup.
Yeah.
It's frustrating.
If we can't do it, so if we're still limited to 10 people, you know, we can sell 10 tickets, and
they're going to be really expensive.
They're going to be really expensive. But yeah, I mean, it's something that we are very much, we still want to do. We still feel like it needs to needs to happen.
Tickets will go on sale approximately 90 days before. I don't know. I mean, we're going to have to just play it by ear with the whole coronavirus situation. So 90 to 60 days in advance, tickets will go on sale. We've got to see some travel restrictions and stuff be lifted before we put tickets on sale, because we pay transaction fees both ways. So if we refund your money, we lose money. Twice. And that's not a hit that we can likely take. And we don't know the price yet between regular tickets and VIP tickets. We had caterers and stuff booked. We're going to have to like rebook all of this stuff. And so all of that is still, ridiculous. Because the date's been pushed, we don't have any answers for you guys yet, really, other than the date, 4th, 5th, and 6th of September.
Yes, which will happen.
You can.
And if not, I'm going to make a phone call to Mr. Trump. And
you can reserve rooms at the Tower West, Best
yes.
Western
And
Lodge.
also so if you had rooms reserved, and I need to point this out, if you had rooms reserved for Ranch Roundup, those were canceled. You should have gotten an email that said that your room was canceled. You will have to call and bring it, reschedule your rooms, and I think the rate is pretty much the same. It might have went up like $4 a night or something like that. So yeah, you can call, you can schedule your rooms for that time. When I talked to her, she was actually impressed. She's like, oh my gosh, you have a lot of people that have already reserved. And it was like, yeah, because people want to be here. They want to have a normal life. So yes, we'll have ticket prices for you coming up at some point. We will get there. Cindy Randolph asked if you cut my hair. No, I cut my own hair, actually. I do not need to go visit the barber. I have a handy dandy haircut and thingamajiggy that I use.
In a few weeks, I'm going to have to cut my bangs.
I know, right? I can cut them for you.
No, you cannot.
Yeah, I could.
And then Lincoln.
Can I charge you $40 to do it?
Ashley doesn't charge me anything.
Oh.
I get my bangs cut for free because Ashley's great.
She charges you when she does like your regular hair dues.
When I like
or cuts or whatever you get.
Yeah.
Not coloring, but whatever.
I get my hair colored.
Whatever
it's
she
fine.
does. Is she essential? Is she open still?
No, all hairdressers are closed.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna have to cut my own bangs. That'll be fun. And then Lincoln's gonna need a haircut too, which we've cut Lincoln's hair several times. He much prefers when Ashley cuts
Does he
his
really?
hair, though.
When I was a kid, I remember going, and I hated having my mom cut my hair as a kid, but I would go to the barber and sit there perfectly and have my hair cut, and then she would get so mad.
Oh yeah,
at me.
it's a fight at home for Lincoln.
Yeah.
Like absolute fight, but it's much easier if I can take him to Ashley. So remember I think it's the cape. He likes, he doesn't get as itchy, and like obviously, like we buzz his sides and then scissor trim the top, and I think it's not as itchy. But we got
You think that's what it is?
We got him that umbrella cape thing. Remember?
Oh yeah, that ridiculous looking thing. That's his socially distancing device. Now it just sticks out all the way around.
Yeah, I mean, I just buzz the whole thing. I like put the back and sides on like a 2, and I do the top on like a 4, and then try to like blend it together, kind of. So
that's what I do to my hair. My hair is just cut all down. From Sheila Santiago, how much does it help the farm for us to watch the ads during your vlog? In reality, we don't make any money off of YouTube unless you watch an ad. There's a certain, the more of the ad you watch, the more money we make. And it is literally fractions of a cent per person. So
but
it's
that
not,
adds up.
But it does add up, and it does help out. From Russ Meredith, how old is Bambi and Blonde Cow? Blonde Cow is old. She is, actually I can tell you how old they are, if you bear with me.
Bambi's like 5, Blonde Cow's 10 plus.
I think Bambi's actually older than 5.
Is she?
Yeah, I'm gonna look this up, because now, answer another question while I'm looking this up.
We watch a 20-ish, this is from Sheila Santiago. We watch a 20-ish minute video of yours, but how long is a video before editing?
Oh my gosh, you don't want to know. Yeah.
I mean, it just depends on how much Mike films and stuff, but I mean, it can be hours of footage.
Yeah, literally, you can kind of get an idea if you take a look at what we're doing. Sometimes I run into a situation in the afternoon where I have to, I'm going to film. I know exactly what I'm going to go do. We're going to film this, and then I'm going to be done. There's other videos that start in the morning, and they just kind of go all day long. And like this morning, I knew that we had a film crew coming this afternoon, so I had to get some stuff filmed this morning. So we went out and talked about how to induce labor in cows. Talked a little bit about why they aren't calving yet, and then I quit, and then I had to come back, get ready for the film crew to be here. Did a little bit of vlogging with the film crew. One weird thing that like with vlogging and that I'm not used to yet, I don't think, is there's kind of like a disconnect sometimes. I'm used to telling a story with a lot of videos, if you like the regular videos we do. So these I have to figure out a story or how to connect them. You know what I'm saying? Like, because we do shift gears a lot throughout the day. So whether I pick one thing and go with that, or I figure out, sometimes I just need to figure out what I'm doing. All right, Bambi is current age 5 years, 11 months.
Well, she's almost 6.
Almost 6. Blonde Cow is
11.
Older than crap. 13 years and 11 months.
Okay, so she's almost 14. So
almost 14.
Everybody that hopes that she breeds back, she's not going to breed
She might. You never know. She takes a year off. She gets a chance to take a break.
She's so old.
She may breed back. I mean, she does have nice calves. She's she's one of those. She's a wild card. We never really know what color calf she's going to have. She's had black calves. She's had blonde calves. She had a gray calf one year that was really weird looking. Bad part is that gray calf isn't worth a thing at the sales barn, so we might as well keep it. But so interesting. Sky King asked if we can get a discount on the Michelin wheels. That's a good question. I have talked to the folks at Michelin. The guy that I deal with at Michelin is in charge of the agricultural division. And so he's not in charge of wheels. He's actually basically kind of calling in a favor with Tweels when he sends us Tweels to try out and use.
And
I
you've
think
met all the Tweels people.
I have
though,
met all
too.
the Tweels people, but they're not. I don't deal with those guys.
Yeah, no.
So I think what our guy does is he's trying to get the Tweels moved into the agricultural division, and he's kind of using us to show how they can be used agriculturally. Whereas like the skid steer stuff, I mean, it's probably industrial type stuff or construction type stuff. The Tweels for the ATVs and UTVs, when you look on Tweels' website, they're all targeted towards like recreational riders and people that are out, jumping things or whatever it is that they do. So, so I think that what he's trying to do is move Tweels maybe more on the agricultural side. So that's what we're trying to do there. Little hidden behind the scenes stuff there. So Mark 042901 Niner. Should I throw a Niner in there? Niner01. Do the kids still have their own herds? Yep. Yeah. Each one of the kids has 5 cows of their own. And
Bambi is actually Mackenzie's.
Bambi actually belongs to Mackenzie. So, yep, they still do. Ken Daum asked if we could show you how we edit.
It's so boring.
How would you make I mean, I'm sure you could do it, but like making a video of how to edit.
It's just you sitting on a computer going click, 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 click.
Well,
87 windows open.
There are methods to my madness, right? Like the first hour or two of any time I edit is just getting all the crap together.
Yeah.
So I have to, a little behind the scenes useless information, but I'm always wearing a microphone because half the time the wind's blowing 90 mile an hour, and if I'm talking to the camera, you can't hear me. So I'm always wearing a microphone. So the very first thing I have to do is take all the footage that I took that day and sync that to the audio. So that's
it's
the
actually
first step.
like, I mean, I appreciate that you guys were interested. It's horribly boring to watch.
It's boring to you. Somebody
It's
else
so
could be
boring.
like, this is awesome. 95% of people think it's boring. I'll give you that.
I think you could do it in a way that maybe is entertaining, but for the reality, unless you're wanting to learn how to edit.
The cool thing about the
just-
vlog, though, is that I can have a total dud, right? I can have a video that everybody's like, what the heck is this? And it's fine. I mean, honestly.
Well, I mean, you can edit, polish the turd. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
No, that's not what I mean. But I mean, I could have a video about something that not everybody would find interesting.
Oh, yeah.
It would still not. It wouldn't ruin the channel. It wouldn't
No.
derail us. It wouldn't hurt my reputation. Well, it might hurt my reputation depending on what it is. But if I made a video, a 20-minute long video where all I did was I walked around behind cows and took videos of them pooping, and put that out, that may damage my reputation somewhat.
I don't know.
Some people may
I think more of our audience would like to watch that than watching you edit. So, I mean, there's a ton of other people out there that can teach how to edit or
That's
even
true.
show what exactly, there's entire channels devoted to that. So, it's just not in our wheelhouse. I mean, it's like somebody asked me for a makeup video. Like, you're never going to see that. That's so far out of our wheelhouse. Like,
Well, some of it actually
no.
just comes down to what aligns with what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
So if we're trying to raise awareness in agriculture, showing a video about how to edit really doesn't help out that
No,
much.
I mean, more.
I wouldn't mind doing a video like how I film or
And you've
the
done
equipment
that.
that I use to film and that kind of stuff.
You've done like the filming
Yeah.
and stuff, and that I think is more like that stuff is interesting. The behind the scenes of how it all comes together. But watching you click a mouse on the screen
It's not that great.
in Adobe, like not that fun. No. JB Well, thank you for the super chat. Erin, has EPP seen an increase in need since this virus? Any plans to expand it if we have an extended downturn, holding any galas for EPP? So EPP is trying to adjust and adapt to the situation. On the negative side of things, we've lost some fundraisers for 2020.
We did.
So we are looking, and Ranch Roundup is a fundraiser for EPP because we do a silent auction. So we are actually looking at a funding shortage happening in August. So that part sucks.
So actually postponing the Ranch Roundup screws up EPP.
Yeah.
Last year during Ranch Roundup, EPP through silent auction was able to raise almost $5,000.
like $3,800 or something,
okay.
and we had budgeted for $5,000 this year. And so not having that money in June, it just creates a cash flow shortage for us. So we are adapting. it's tricky. We have applied for some of the federal programs that are coming out, the PPP, the ELDI, like we've applied for those. So we're working on the situation. Some of our sponsors have also been super generous and have already reached out to us and said, is there anything we can do? So EPP, most of our programs are not running yet, except for the Free Little Pantry Network, which is suffering. The pantries are being used a lot. The pantries are like newspaper dispensers that are put in city parks, and they're free for anybody to use with the motto of take what you need, leave what you can. As soon as they are stocked, that food's being taken. And so we've essentially run through most of our food for that. Thank you, JB Weld, for the extremely generous donation.
Does Megan watch these?
No.
If Megan watches them, Megan's Erin's partner in EPP. She's probably like dancing around. She's like on self-quarantine right now.
I will put that money towards EPP and very specifically towards our pantry program, because that's a program that is suffering the most right now. And so we're trying to adapt how we run that program right now. And more than anything, like we're an emergency food source. Those pantries do not stock very much food. It's a newspaper dispenser, so it's for emergency food. I don't have food for me or my family tonight.
Can anybody go? This is a dumb question, but let's say those newspaper dispensers that we put out and they have food in them. Can anybody go and put food into it?
Yeah, absolutely. So donations can be done just directly through the pantry. So you can just go put food into them.
Oh.
And
do you think anybody's put a bottle of 7 and 7 in any of those? Because I could really use one.
Somebody did one time put a chicken sandwich from the gas station in one. Don't do that.
Oh my gosh. Does somebody go by and check these stupid things?
Yeah.
I mean, they're stupid,
Yeah,
crap.
so it's a partner program that we do with Sensible Nutrition here, and Beth from Sensible Nutrition does most of the stocking, and then Megan and I, as we add more pantries, we will handle more of the direct, the work of more pantries. So that program is suffering. We're working to adapt and overcome the challenges that we're facing now. More than anything, push people towards the Council of Community Services, which is our primary food bank. But there's food hoarding happening. Can't deny that. And then our summer weekend meals for kids program, we are distributing 100 weekend food bags through the Boys and Girls Club, which is not currently open. So if they don't open for summer, I don't know what we'll do other than we'll just set up outside the Boys and Girls Club, and it'll be free for anybody that needs it.
One of the issues that you were telling me about, though, is like even like Blessings in a Backpack, which supplies kids with food during the school year.
During the school year, yeah.
Yeah, that they were having issues with people even coming and picking up the bags because, obviously you don't want to have that interaction. So there's got to be, short of airdrops, which is possible. We could take drones out and drop bags to people. I would like to do. Can I fly the drone? It would be fun.
Our budget is only for 100 kids. Our Blessings in a Backpack, which does our school year weekend food bags, does 800 to 850 a week. So EPP is nowhere near supplying the community what the need is for the summer. And so we'd hope to increase that for 2021 through some other additional funding that we are seeking this year. We're still going to operate all of our programs. It's just adjusting to COVID. So if Boys and Girls Club is not open, we'll still distribute food bags. Our veggie basket program is still going to happen. We're just going to put everything 6 feet apart.
So Russ Meredith asked, is hunger a big issue in your county? I think this is something that people don't realize, but hunger is an issue in every county.
It's an issue
it's
an issue in your community too. It's not. It's a staggering amount of people that are food insecure in every single community. And part of what the Free Little Pantry Network does is say you're low income and you qualify for SNAP, which is Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, which is food stamps, or you're a mom and you qualify for WIC, which is Women, Infant, Children Program. Those are our federal food assistance programs. If you qualify for those, you get some help. It's not great. Some people get as little as $20 a month on SNAP. Some people get substantially more. It's based on income, family size, all kinds of things go into your qualifying for those programs. But there's a huge gap that's never talked about between here where you qualify for programs and maybe your income's here, but you're still food insecure. So there's this gap that you still don't have enough food, but you can't get any help. And that's where like the pantry network is designed to help ease some of that burden.
Right.
So, and programs like weekend food bag programs don't typically income qualify and stuff like that.
You know,
kids.
Matt always tells me that if I need a break, I really just need somebody
just
to
let
get
me
you
to talk. I'll
be
just talk about
I'm gonna
food.
be back in a little while, go check cows,
So.
come back, see what's going on.
And Mark asked, are we a food desert? Yeah, there's definitely areas that are food deserts. There's areas that are food deserts in your community also.
What is a food desert?
It's where there is not a grocery store or some sort of adequate food shopping area within a certain distance, and there's federal standards and guidelines for that. I think you can even find the map online of food
Really?
deserts. Yeah, so like our north side of town, there's only one small grocery store. And I think I don't know what the distance is, but essentially if it's a really long walk to a grocery store, you're a food desert.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I've never heard that before.
Because we're in the county, we technically are food. I don't know how they qualify county. I don't really know a lot about it. Other than that, we do have food deserts.
They have I can tell you in the U.S. there's a lot of knowledge deserts. I'll give you that. Mark, 042901, do you get a discount on egg tires from Michelin? I wish I did, but I don't. Chef Tiny, hey man, how's it going?
Hi, Tiny.
I know that our Chef Tiny, if you're still here, are you doing takeout? If so, I would like to get one of those Black Widow sandwiches and just leave it sitting on the curb, and I'll come and get it one of these days.
Tiny sent us his menu, and I was like looking through. I was like,
That
oh,
son
this
of a
sandwich
why would you
looks
send
good.
me your menu from states away? And it's like, dude, he sent me that menu, and all I did was like drool over the dang thing. I think I even told you, I was like, I think we need to drive to Wisconsin.
I know. I was like, that sandwich looks good.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, he asked if I was still caking the cows with the cake trailer. Not so much. I'm trying to come up with some sort of different design for that. The cake trailer is kind of a pain in the butt to hook up and take off and put on and stuff like that. The cows are normally they're used to me just going out with a sack of cake. Sometimes I'll fill up the back of the gator with cake and go out and dump it that way.
Or you put it in the bucket of the tractor.
I'll put it in the bucket of the tractor sometimes. I'd like to be able to utilize the cake feeder more. The problem is that it takes up so much room in the back of the gator. The trailer's kind of a pain in the butt. It works, but it's kind of a pain. I've thought about trying to hook up some sort of like a 3-point system for the back of the gator where I could back into it and it would kind of like a camper. Remember like camper shells?
You should make it so that it can go on the front of the tractor. Well, no, because you need the spear to you need the bucket to get the.
See, it's tricky.
It needs a side delivery system off the tractor.
It
If
does.
you could do tractor, like hay and cake in one, it needs to go on the tractor.
Yeah, but how do you do that?
I don't know.
They put it on the spooler?
I don't know. I just said where it needs to go. You have to figure it out.
I have to figure it out. All right. All right. Michael Outdoors asked if we ever go on vacation out of the country. No, never.
Not out of the country.
And when you, from Donald, Erin, when you harvest chicken eggs, do you have to check for baby chicks?
I mean, no. If you get them and put them in a refrigerator, they're not going to. What's the word? I mean, they're not. Even if it's a fertilized egg, the embryo is not going to grow if it's not warm.
Yeah, we're getting eggs every day. So.
Yeah, so as long as you do not let them sit on them, if once you put an egg in the refrigerator, you stop the developmental process, and the egg is perfectly fine to eat.
The cameraman that was out today, the kids took him over to the chicken house, and you guys were gathering eggs. And Mackenzie was explaining to him that these eggs might be fertilized. And the cameraman, you should have seen his face. He was just like, "Oh,
I roll
that's
my
not
eyes
good."
there. Yeah, I mean it's no, I mean. So when we find, like, we always have chickens that like lay nest places and stuff, and like when you find one of those in the barn, some of those eggs might be fine. You can candle them where you hold a light to them and you can see through them. We essentially just get rid of all those eggs and say, naughty chickens, quit this. And sometimes they get locked in the chicken house for a couple of days to correct their behavior.
Yep, exactly.
So.
I saw a question about I've been using the bucket to feed. That's from Mark as well. Yeah, I did break this bale spear quite a while ago. And I have another one, but since I'm feeding the lighter bales, I can carry 2 of them with the bucket. It seems to work pretty good. So Brendan Fleming asked about cake. Is that a Wyoming word, calling feed cake? This is actually, it came from, the name came from because it's actually made from cottonseed. When they take cottonseed and they press cottonseed to get the oil out, cottonseed oil comes out, what's left over is the cake. That's what they originally made as the cake for cows because it's very, very high in protein.
Yeah,
Cottonseed cake is like 21%, 22%.
And it's made from a lot of, like different agricultural products like compose the base. Like
Right.
you can buy all kinds of different cake. In other parts of the country, it's called range cubes.
Yeah, it's all the same thing.
But yeah, it's a some sort of pulpy byproduct from another agricultural process that then is fortified with minerals and vitamins and shaped into a tube or a square.
Yep, pressed out. Yeah. All right, we're going to take a quick look at what we had go on today. We had a film crew here filming a PSA for the state of Wyoming about COVID-19, social distancing, wash your hands, stay away from people, keep your distance, all that kind of good stuff. So we wanted to share some of that experience with you. This is actually kind of a little bit of a sneak preview of tomorrow's vlog. I'm going to include part of this in there as well. So take a look. All right, guys, and we're back, and it's now, 2-something in the afternoon, and we have a film crew out here to film some PSAs for the state of Wyoming and basically kind of tell people to stay home and do that kind of thing. So let's go check it out and see what's going on in here. All right, Mackenzie, what's your line?
Stay home.
Stay home. Wash your hands.
Good job.
That's good.
Oh, we did?
Forgot.
What do you
Quiet on the set, Lincoln.
People, especially your little brother.
And support your communities, especially those working on the front lines of this battle.
Together we can prevail and continue to succeed in our Wyoming life.
All right.
They're way too fast. Well, we lost.
Okay.
Okay. That was a good one.
We gotta have that one. But there is a chicken making long eggs.
Look at this.
Do you want to put one in, Lincoln? Don't throw it. Gentle. Thank you.
Thank you.
So there we go, COVID-19 PSA that turns into a, 3-hour adventure around the ranch. It was fun. I mean,
fun.
It's interesting to have somebody else filming you. It's, you know, you got the shotgun or the boom mic up above you and that kind of stuff. But it was fun. I mean, the whole point of it, we didn't want to make it too serious. We don't, we obviously, you need to wash your hands or I'm going to come kick your ass. But it was more of a, just kind of a fun thing to do and a great way to hopefully get the word out there. I think everybody knows that what you need to do and what you're supposed to do, but you talk about flattening the curve, and there was a comment even on today's video where we talked about, flattening the curve, and this person actually said, well, flattening the curve, all that flattening the curve is going to do is going to draw, and this is a valid argument, it's going to draw out the entire experience. It's going to take longer for this to go through, which in fact is then going to hurt the economy even more, which...
Thank you, Owl ID Check, for the $20 super chat. Nicely done. Tired. Got a bug early. Night all. Wanted to say goodbye before they leave.
Good night,
Thank
sir.
you.
That it is going to draw it out. That things are going to, economically, it's going to hurt us. But really, there's really not a win-win situation. There's a no-win situation here that we have to deal with, and I really don't want.
I don't want to
anything
die.
I don't want somebody else to die.
No.
So it's about your conscience, and if you're going to, wash your hands. Just do that.
And it sucks. And I feel for all of our elected officials. I feel really bad for Governor Gordon. I mean, I feel bad for President Trump. I mean, just nobody knows the right decisions to make and stuff. Like, Governor Gordon has not put us on a stay in place, and he's getting a huge amount of criticism and also a huge amount of, these are my civil liberties and you will not take them away. Like, I mean, there is, and the coronavirus is a hoax. It's not. People are dying. People are sick. Yes, a majority of us.
I remember, so when this whole thing started, not so much when it started, but when it was getting up and rolling, and I was like, I'm never going to know anybody that has.
You're going to know somebody.
I know. Well, I already know people who know people who have died.
Yeah.
I mean, like 1 degree of separation.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know anybody who's died. I don't know anybody who has it, but I do know people who know somebody and personally know somebody.
Yeah.
So it does kind of eventually come and hit you, right in the feels kind of thing.
I don't want to get sick, and like, yes, it's not necessarily affecting people our age. People our age are not necessarily dying. We can die, but I don't want to find out what's going to happen. I don't want to find out if I'm going to have a mild case, a severe case. I don't want our kids to get sick. I don't want my mom to get sick. I don't want to have to close the farm store. So we're going to socially distance. We are going to not go to the grocery store. We're only going to go to the post office to deliver jerky.
Yeah, exactly.
Really, that's the worst thing that we have to do. I refuse to go to the grocery store. I ordered groceries on Friday. I cannot pick them up until Thursday. That's fine.
Yeah.
We will run out of some stuff that I need before then.
You might be able to go onto our website. If you are ordering groceries, you might be able to go onto our website, order our beef jerky, and have that before you can have groceries delivered.
Yeah,
but,
literally ordered on Friday, cannot get till Thursday.
Yeah, but you can't order jerky. Somebody asked if we had any confirmed cases in our county. We do. How many?
9. They're monitoring several hundred though.
Yeah. So there's quite a few. How many in Wyoming?
150 or something. We have not had a death in Wyoming yet. We are
No.
the last state. So good for us for being last.
Yep.
We're last.
We're last. We're dead last, which means that we'll be the last ones to come out of this crap too. So some quick questions to answer here. Where can I get seeds for microgreens from tree saw limb birch?
I order from Johnny's Seeds. I've heard they're only doing orders for commercial growers at this point though.
Are you considered a commercial grower?
I always put that I'm commercial because they ask you on every order. You're just gonna have to do a Google search. I know some seed companies are extremely backed up as of right now. So, it's True Leaf Harvest is another company. Again, I think it's True Leaf Harvest. I haven't ordered from them.
Okie dokie. Next one. How are your hay fields? It's really almost too early for us to tell with the hay fields at this point.
We need rain. I mean,
Yeah.
we're in our need rain season, but we had some snow. It's almost all melted.
Yeah,
And
we had 5 inches of snow, which equated to what, a quarter of an inch of rain or something like that. But we'll take it. We'll take what we can get. So, do you all ever apply extra fertilizer to your fields or weed killer? That's from Ifyam Emin. We do manure fertilizer. But not so much weed killer, stuff like that.
We'll spot spray for
We'll
thistle.
spot spray for any big stuff.
If you have established hayfields, you shouldn't have a lot of weeds.
No. We do a milestone spray for thistle and
We've
stuff
got
like
some
that.
thistle in the field behind my mom's house that we need to spray for, but we just spot spray.
Yep, exactly. And from Mark, will you share it on your Facebook page? The PSA, I talked to him today, when the PSA is done, and we're actually going to be able to share it on the Our Wyoming Life page to try to get it out to as many people as possible. And then also we'll be sharing it on Facebook, BTR, pretty much all around the area here. We're going to try to. Is that kind of the plan?
Yeah.
Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff.
We're extremely famous now. So.
Yeah, except for the guy that was producing it was like, I never heard of you until somebody told me to give you guys a call.
Yeah.
So hey.
It's extremely flattering that the governor's office would feel like we can do something like this for him. So I've never met Governor Gordon. I've met his wife several times, and she's wonderful.
Yeah. Well, if I could say that they're in politics, so who knows how that works. But I was going to say, if she's nice, he's probably nice, but you never know. Politics is weird. From SD Rancher, have you heard about people moving to Wyoming to get away from the coronavirus? No, but I've heard about them moving to South Dakota, so you might want to watch out for that.
You do have to, if you come from another state to visit Wyoming, except for work business, you have to quarantine for 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. So
stay home. Stay home. Wash your hands. Practice social distancing.
Get away from everybody. What is the Tennessee saying? Do your part, stay apart.
Yeah.
Tennessee should spread that all over the U.S., but right now it's Tennessee's little thing. But it's do your part, stay apart. So.
All sociopaths. I'm going to hold out hope that Governor Gordon, and I've met his wife. She's amazing.
Maybe I'm on the other side of that though. I know politicians, and whoever wants to be a politician,
they're literally the same as us. They're not the same as us.
No, they're not. What are you?
They're ranchers from Wyoming.
That's great. So are a lot of other politicians that I know, and I don't really like them very much.
I'm just holding out faith that I think that Governor Gordon is just fine. I think in 8 years that'll be a different question.
I'm going to keep calling him Mark until he calls me and tells me to
No, I think
call me Governor Gordon.
anybody that chooses to be an elected official, that is an extremely difficult job, like way worse than being on YouTube. Although somewhat similar, we can never do anything right. Politicians, YouTubers. Can you imagine how hard it would be right now? Like, think about it like a couple years ago, and you're like, I'm going to run for governor. I'm going to run for president. The world went to shit. These poor people. Like, I feel so bad for all of our city councilmen, our county commissioners, all of our elected officials, like having to navigate through this.
I feel bad for them, but I also know that there's a certain type of person who gets into politics, and that's not usually the type of person that I would want to associate myself with. I don't know why, but I don't know. It's just.
But they're all normal people before
at one
they
point
get
they
elected.
were, but they ain't no more. I tell you what, you get into that crap and it.
Do you think it changes you?
It changes you. Yeah.
YouTube has changed us too.
I don't know.
I think it's difficult, and I think it's just like people ask us like how YouTube has affected us. It's really hard to put that into words. I think being a politician, I don't know what it's like to be a politician.
Here's a really good example. Like, I talked to you about this today. I kind of want to do a video in this vlog series where I talk about comments. Right. I really want to do this video where I like really seriously look at comments and kind of be like, you know, why would you say this? Why would you take your time to comment? I had one today that told me that that they don't like close-ups of my face.
Your face is ugly.
I'm just like, and I replied back to it. I said, that's kind of a rude thing to say to somebody. Like, you know, and, you know, I really I'm very disappointed in you as a person.
Nobody has ever told me I'm ugly to my face, but they've told me on the internet.
many times. So I kind of want to go, but then at the same time, like if I make a video about comments, is that me just whining about
You're just
comments?
Feeding the trolls.
Right, exactly. So, yeah.
I do think not all politicians are bad, though.
I do.
I don't think they start out bad. Hey, don't say that. We just did a PSA.
True. All right. Politicians are awesome. I'd
I'm
like to
not
go on the
saying-
record as saying that I'm going to vote for every politician that I know for the rest of my life.
I think it's
If I have to vote 3, 4, 5, 6 times, I'm going to do it.
I think it's an extremely difficult job, and I think 99% of them start with having good intentions and wanting to make things
I have no
better.
doubt that people when they get into politics, especially at the lower levels, right, they want to make a difference.
Yes.
And eventually, though,
You
it does get to the
become
point where
jaded.
you are you're hammered from each end
Yeah.
that you have to become hardened.
We've become hardened to comments. When people tell me I'm ugly, I have words for them. Okay? I used to get upset, and now I say, well, they can just, you know.
Go do their thing.
Yeah, I mean, we have a different opinion. Like in the beginning, that was heartbreaking when somebody told you they
Oh
didn't
my
like their
gosh.
video.
I think the first like really horrible comment I ever got, I was crushed. I
Yeah.
was just like, oh my gosh, I put a lot of work into these,
Yeah.
and you're going to tell me that I suck?
Now you're just, well, that person is a blah, blah, blah. I mean, like, we just have a very extremely different opinion now.
Yeah.
And I can almost imagine, I'm not a politician, but I think being a politician is a lot like that.
I would
think
love to meet a politician that I can sit and have a beer with and not have to feel like I need to watch my back.
Yeah, no, and I think there is insider trading. There's all kinds of corruption. The further up the ladder you go,
Right.
the worse it gets. I'm not denying that and saying that politicians are saints. I do think most of them, and we should have term limits. We really
2 weeks.
should.
That's all you get.
We really should have term limits. Nobody needs to be a politician for 30 years.
Yeah.
Because you will forget where you came from in
Yeah.
30 years. There's no way that you can't.
Fast
If
forward
we
10
do-
years, where I'm a state legislator, and no.
If we do YouTube for 10 years, I can't even imagine how we're going to feel about comments in 10 years because it makes you jaded.
It does. It does. And the bad part is, we've been talking a lot about this lately, but it's the, what do I say? The minority is always the loudest, right? So the people that hate you are always going to be louder than people that love you. And that's stupid, and it's backwards, and it's sideways, and it should be the other way around.
Yeah.
People that love you should be 50 times louder than people that hate you. But for some reason, it doesn't work that way. So, yeah, it's a goofy deal.
Sorry we talked about politics.
Yeah, but anyway. That's it. We're done.
I would strongly vote for term limits, though. You get 2.
No doubt. No doubt. All right, guys, thank you very much for hanging out with us once again. Of course, the 30 and 30, the dirty 30, whatever else we have. we will be continuing with that. We have a whole half a month left to go, pretty much. So that will be continuing as we move along. We do have some new, different types of videos coming out that
Matt's
you're
trying
going
to put me in timeout.
He's putting you in timeout. He's probably putting me in timeout. But
He said both.
yeah, it's,
Well, I have feelings about that comment too, Matt.
Jeff asked how they're enforcing the out-of-state quarantine. By the way,
It's voluntary.
yeah, it's totally voluntary. So
Wyoming is big on constitutional rights.
yeah,
And everyone has guns.
very much so. So anyway, we have a lot more coming up in the 30 and 30. The Dirty 30 is still going on. Of course, tomorrow we start homeschooling with the kids, and that might work its way into the video as well. So
How early can we start drinking?
we already did. Oh, you mean tomorrow morning? Oh man.
I need some prayers.
Thanks, JB, for the $2 super chat just here for the jackalope. Yeah, no doubt. I do think Bambi might be a better politician than any of us. So thanks, guys, for hanging out with us. Thanks to our moderators, Lori, Matt, William Dunn here, Bill the Tractor Man, of course, Zach Hewitt hanging out with us, keeping us all straight, making sure that we toe that line but don't quite step over it. Thanks, guys. Have a great night. We'll see you again right here on Our Wyoming Life.
Thanks,
or Beyond
guys.
the Ranch, or wherever we happen to be.
Be on the ranch.
Yeah. Be safe. Wash your hands.
And our Wyoming Life subsidiary.